learn. Let's get going with our today's session, which is on vibe coding. This is a topic or area that we've done a lot of work on even earlier. And I believe that there are better ways to continue to do this. And that is where I thought let's do a fresher session in our 2026. And also here's the high level calendar on IT Learn team of what we're doing as live sessions, apart from all your other courses that you have as your video libraries. So AI Essentials we finished earlier this week. Today we are in the vibe coding. We're going to do a Fox certification session again. A lot of members were missing out and they wanted guidance. So that's on the weekend. And then a few more sessions later, team. So for today's session, let's continue to focus, or let's put our attention onto vibe coding. Now, before I get to vibe coding and talk about what it does, let's also understand what LLMs do and how we can get something for them. So I can always use, LLMs to ask it to generate something. Things like, which are more text outputs, and you want it to be in a way, such a way that it helps you or assists you in getting into other steps, but it's not giving you something as a complete output in a desired format. Now, what happens with vibe coding is our intent is to get a code base from our prompting. So when we do a prompting, it is very critical that we understand what we get as an output. So I can have LLMs generate for me. For example, if I'm a test engineer, what would I need? If I'm a developer who builds desktop or other types of applications, or another developer who does web apps, or I'm a DevOps engineer. Now, my tasks are different, my needs are different, team. But at the end of it, you're trying to use AI in the best way possible to assist us. So I could do something like, if I'm a test engineer, generated test strategy doc. Or I could say things like build test plans. Or I can give it a report and say analyze a report / dashboard. Or give me things like defect predictions. So for things like anything that requires additional, so all I have to do for a test strategy doc is give it some scope of that application. What is that application, or where are the original requirement documents, technical docs? Then I can develop based on it. If there's a high level design, that's great. If there's a technical architecture, that's great. So we need some kind of a input out here, team. And everywhere you need those inputs, and those inputs are your prompts. Now your LLMs can easily generate and do things like this. And we're going to experiment, play around a little live also around it. But when it comes to vibe coding, I'm very specific. Things like, give me a pipe code to analyze my test data. In fact, I want it to build test data, not just analyze it. So that becomes very important for me as a test engineer, because a lot of times I have to change my data before the test execution. Or give me a code that shows my results as a unified HTML dashboard. Now, these are all things that you can do and generate a code. So when it comes to LLMs or Gen AI, you're trying to get some content as an output, mostly text, sometimes videos or graphics and all this, but not really code. You can also definitely generate a code, build a code. But the difference with vibe coding is how we do a prompts. So we have a prompt one where I'm saying, hey, build a Python code or a Java code to do something. And then you get one output one, you test it manually or using automation or AI, and then you give it a refined prompt, a prompt 1.1. You give it a few more things. So you keep getting your new output each time till your test has all passed. So that's an iterative cycle. So vibe coding is not where I give one prompt and I get the best output. I get an output and I try to play around with it. So what can we use? Let's write down a couple of prompts and then go about it, team. There are a lot of websites that we can take as sample, but there's the standard automation websites that I can use, team, like, which has any questions from anyone meanwhile? I hope you can all hear me okay. Well, I'm not able to find an application. While I'm doing that, let me put a poll up for you, team. So I just want to check your AI skills. That's one. It will be on your screen now. Just as to where you are currently with overall AI. And I started about a year and a few months ago, more towards end of 2024. But the entire 2025 year has been heavy on AI for me, team. Let's take maybe something like a travel website, Kayak. Won't be too complicated. Why not? Let's see. Tim, can I get your answers on the poll, please? Once I get everyone's responses, I'll share the results and close it. All right, I'm closing the polls, team. I've got most of you voting in, and let me share it with you all. All right, team. So very new is a majority of you, and aware of basic LLMs and chatbots. I don't think anyone answered. Use AI for work or personal. I see a few of you there. And master in AI, none of us. And that's fine, team. I'm not a master in AI, but I always try to push myself that I need to get there one day. So while I'm getting there in the journey, it is important for me to believe that, yeah, let me be a master of AI for that. So team, for example, let's take a website like Kayak, okay? And it's a travel website. So that's my space, but I'll do a few things. Let's talk about prompt writing. It's a little text where everyone have to spend a little time. After you do a good and decent amount of documentation with your thoughts correctly, it's easy. So I'm talking about here. I am a new QA engineer who is working on a travel web application. It is very similar to kayak.com, but only focuses on, let's make it a minimal scope. That way, it doesn't go in depth for everything. Let's talk about maybe cruises. So I'm expecting it to go to cruises and play around and do some kind of a Gen AI and then vibe coding for meeting. It is very similar to kayak.com, but only focuses on cruises. But we only focus. And I want to also put this chat in the chat for you, team, and try it in your own local machines, what the outputs could be. Help me, one, build a test strategy suggests automation tools. What else do I want you to do? That's about it. I've not yet got to a vibe coding. This is still at an LLM level. Yeah, give me few test scenarios. Now, I can put this to mostly any LLM. Let's try Grok maybe. And I'll also open up Chat GPT. It's been long. I don't use LLM so much as I use Cursor team. If most of you are new to AI, then I'm also assuming you're new to Cursor. One of the things I'll also talk about today is Codex, which is our open chat, openai.com/Codex. This is something just got launched. It should be something we add to our existing IDE and it builds things for us. What happened to it? Okay. So I'm still playing around. We'll talk about that. Where else do I want to put? You also have Colab notebook from Google, where you could do online code writing directly. So let's start with each one of them, team. Any other LLMs? I'll also put my prompt. I have a lot more tasks for a team, but I'm just starting out here. There we go. I'm putting it in the chat. You can also try on your screens, everyone. Copy. Sorry. Prompt, Control C, Control V, and send. So I still need a test strategy because it's a high level that's telling me something about what happens and how my overall approach is towards software testing. I won't get into details of plans and timelines and so on or scope, but everything else at a high level I'll be explaining in it. And these are some things that we were doing manually. And then there were tools or applications that helped us do it. But now we're trying to do it by ourselves. All right, I put the prompt on chat for you. Now let's try it on a few places. First, I'll go with Grok, and I think I'm signed in. I don't know. No, but that's fine. So I've given a prompt, sign in with Google. One of the other things that we have to do, team, if you're a software test engineer, is to also continue to test these applications that you work with. LLMs, chatbots, how are they building things? What's new in what they're doing? Things like that. So out here, I think it's a new chat. I'm logged in. It's not a premium account. So there should be limited amount of prompts or responses that we get. So remember, team, with prompts and so on, the whole world of token comes in. Tokens are basically whatever you send as input and whatever you get as output. There is a cost to it, there's a measure to it. And that cost is something that gives you the free versus premium versions. And AI cost is not small, team. It adds up very quickly. If I'm one engineer, I can easily in a day spend about $10 to $20. But if I look at in a month's time, it's let's say 20 times 30 or 25, you're talking about $500 a month. So $500 a month is expensive, but the amount of output some of these people are getting is immense. There are also other AI engineers who are doing the same at $50 a month. And there are some who are doing it for free. You decide, team. When I'm saying AI engineers, not necessarily full stack developers and all, it could also be people like us. The usage level is important. Now, did I give this in 2 places? ChatGPT also I gave? No, I didn't. I was speaking. Anyone else trying the same at your end? Not this. Let's get the main prompt back again and submit it here. Codex will have to do it via Cursor or other IDEs. There's VS Code, JetBrains, and Warp. I have Cursor, VS Code, some of my team members do, so that should be easy as well. Yeah. Basundara, did you say that you tried on your screen the outputs? I'm also going to Colab. In Colab, I basically, if I don't have, let's say I have Google Chrome, which doesn't have something for me to install, and I want to do everything on the cloud. So I can create a small project and run my code there. So we're trying to keep this in parallel and see how outputs will come. The new release notes, but the interface, features, and so on for most tools are simple. No software application builder tries to make things complicated. They want to make it as user-friendly, as stupid-friendly as possible. So, and if I don't like it in my first few seconds or minutes of usage, I might skip, never come back. So here, all I use is AI to generate coding. This is a decent start for coding team. See, but not anywhere asking it to write a code yet. I'm not asking it to write a code. But let's see the outputs that we get from each of it. Okay, now this is my, let me keep that there. I can write a simple Python code here and run it. That's the whole thing. But let's keep that scenario going. Okay, let's go back to Grok and see what it did. It built a high-level test strategy team, objective scopes, what level, what types of testing we will do. Now, I hope it kept its relevance to Kayak. Remember that if I ask the same question to Grok, again, maybe in the same window or a new window, it can give me a different response. At a large level, all LLMs are trying to make sure that the accuracy is correct, but it is very, very critical that we have, very accurate responses coming our way. And that is where I use this concept of efficiency, reusability, and accuracy team. This will be a great measure when we talk about AI. We will talk about this. And then we'll also talk about ROI and dollars in a little. Not big topics to focus, but very important to understand what is driving what. Cruise focused travel web application. Nice, sounds good. Test environment, manual and automated, metrics reporting. What do I want to collect? And coverage, defect density, pass rate. This is a decent timeline. Since I didn't ask for a plan, it's also put that at a high level. Did I ask it to suggest automation tools? Did we? Yes, I did. We did. UI automation, Playwright, Selenium, Cypress, nice. API testing. So if this application was built on microservices architecture and uses, microservices or APIs, internal or external, then there's a lot of testing that you could ship there as part of your testing triangle. And team, how many of you are from the testing background? I don't know if I have a poll for it. Can I get a response in chat? Thank you. I see a few responses. And whenever you want to ask a question, team, just raise your hand. I'll have you unmuted and you can speak. And I'll also make you a presenter if you want to share your screen. All right. All right, let's get back here. So that's next. I can use Postman, or I can do rest assured Java or Python requests. Now, look at this framework and reporting. Cucumber, Allure or extend reports. It's been long since I heard extend reports. That's good. If you want, Vasundhara, I can make you the presenter after this. Just look at and compare what our outputs are. We still didn't do vibe coding, but my next question would be that. Give me a few sample test automation scripts in, let's say, Playwright or Selenium for UI and API testing. So now Selenium might not, so maybe I'll say Karate or Cypress. So this is my second prompt. And I also wanted to definitely build test data and do much more, but let's see. All right. Now I'm going to take a moment and put the same into Cursor. I'll open up a new project here. Everyone with me? Do I have your attention all? Open? No, I want a new one. Maybe I can right click. It's a new folder. Yep. What are we doing here? Vibe coding. Ding, ding, ding. QA analyst testing. All right, Lakshmi. Thank you. So out here in Cursor, like any other IDEs these days, you have the concept of an AI chatbot integrated with it. Cursor has become popular almost overnight, team, and it's one of the most widely growing integrated development environment. So a lot of people, like I used to use PyCharm very extensively. Now I use Cursor. It's just easy. Over a period of time, it becomes something that you can conveniently use. Yes, I use premium version, so that's why things could look a little better there. But my intent is only on vibe coding. And what I will do here, team, is create a new file, and I'll call it as my need.text. So this entire, is it only one line? I wanted the whole thing. Prompt I'm taking and putting it here. So look at what all you can get as an output in vibe coding now. Now this is my prompt. I'm going to select this, just direct Control A, and I'll add this to chat. So from my need.text, it's got everything. I don't need to send it anything else. I'm just sending my prompt. Now Cursor is going to work on it. And I don't think it should take too long. But meanwhile, let me switch my window. Go back here. So we finished. Did it write a code for me? No, I didn't ask it to. Let me ask that out here. And I'm going to look at the output from ChatGPT as well. And then let me ask here. See, I like the scope of testing. Each output could be different. Each LLM model that is used, how much it's refined could be different as well. I like this simple, crisper presentation. Things like security, performance, non-functional testing was not covered. And it looks much more elaborate. Now, I don't think it would have gone ahead and given me scripts. But here's an architecture example model. So UI test, API test, test data, utilities, form, CI integration. Nice. See, that is where I like to continue to interact with AI to show me. Sometimes you worked over years and suddenly you feel that I don't think I remember that. But when you look at these structured outputs and go through them, it's so nice to see everything at length. How much details it's got, team. I just gave it very minimal. How QA work typically happens in sprint. Builds features, QA writes test cases, QA tests manually, QA writes automation, run regression, release. Not bad. But yeah, writing, so that is where shift left and how we work in parallel becomes very important. Now it's asked us, so Playwright automation framework structure, booking test cases, 50 plus examples. That's nice. How QA works. So it's asking me which direction I want to go. So I want to complete the entire document? No. I want it to code for me. So this is my prompt. But if I was actually working in it, I would have really liked to take all of these examples, team. Venkat or Mahit, are you guys there? Do you want to show anything on base 44?
Yes, Karthik, within 10 minutes, I would like to show.
Okay, great. Thank you. And any of you want to be presented and show outputs at your end, team? Let me know. There we go. Now here is the good thing, team. I can always write it, and I'm not, please, I know we're trying to do vibe coding. I've not got into the code yet. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say, team, is the output is great. Hopefully, this is from Grok. We'll check from ChatGPT as well. Now, I have to copy this and run it somewhere, right? This is a JavaScript Playwright test. And it is put yourcruiseapp.com, in which I should replace it with my actual applications, QA or other servers. And then this mobile responsive check, API search for cruises. Wow, very nice. How many of you know karate and gherkins, team? It's very important skill. We should have a detailed training on it once again soon. Excuse me. Edge cases, negative scenarios, where it gets, expected 400. So it still should pass. Too many requests, 429. That's something I've rarely heard. So this is good, team. How do I execute this test? I have to put it everything into an IDE, structure it, and do it. If it's a simple code, it's good. But if it's a complex code, then it's a problem. Now let's look at this. In the vibe coding folder, where the actual thing of vibe coding we want to do, with one prompt in, I don't know, I don't think it took more than 2 minutes. It generated all of this output. So it built a Markdown, which is a very popular format, team, which all developers and testers also using these days. Especially in your IDEs and so on, it's easy for even AI to read Markdown versions. Here it gives me a QA guide. That's beautiful. So I have everything in my file system now. It has created all of this in the new folder that we just built. So I can store them, I can maintain them, I can continue to improve whatever we get. And one of the first things I will ask it to do is improve my need.txt. Because I gave it as a human. But if I'm a good author, good writer, I have time, I could spend 1 or 2 hours and give that. Now look at the old need, which is there in red lines, and the new need, which has been expanded with more clarity. So now this is a better prompt for us to give into any LLM. This is always okay to start with a simple prompt, but as you keep going in your project, improve your prompts. All right. One of the folders that it's created is for the karate tests. So I have a runner.java and it's running 2 karate tests, API tests and UI tests. And each of them will have their own feature files that talks about, for the UI, I have a scenario where I open the home and search by destination, given driver base URL and click and so on. Now, I have not installed any software or other libraries that are essential for me to run karate tests, that would be my next step. But do I want to run karate or Playwright, API UI? Will come to it. But let's look at this team. The beauty of karate tests is the whole concept of gherkin language, where we're saying that it's like cucumber, and when we're saying it's a given when then kind of a concept, more English-like presentation. So it looks more lesser technical and more human readable. That makes karate more popular. It has two scenarios here. I see one is open home and search by destination. So it is going to the base URL, which is the entire path to it. And I can always continue to ask my AI chatbot, hey, you know what? My actual URL is this. My actual test username and password is this. Help me test based on that. And it should be able to do that. Now, clicking a button called destination and clicking Caribbean, oh no, what is it doing? Yeah, clicking Caribbean as a text, and then it's clicking search button, and it's waiting for 2 seconds, 2000 milliseconds, and it's looking at the driver.location has search. So it's navigating to the search page, and it is seeing if it has that search visible there. But unless you run it, so this is a concept. Is your application ready? No, I have not built it, or rather my development team is still working on it. There is no URL, there are no screens, there is very little documentation. However, I'm already preparing a base. So all I have to do next time is, hey, here is the actual XPath. Improve it. Here's the actual URL. Here is the actual data. Here is the actual flow of it. So you constantly build your scripts. These are still scripts team. So as a test engineer, for us, vibe coding could be generating such scripts, which is gherkin language, and it's very easy for a human to look at. But let's look at this TypeScript by Playwright. It's given two of them. I always like to use the README team. It helps me to understand what I can do next. Even for karate, there would have been a README. My pom.xml should tell me all my dependencies that are needed. Each dependency is like a library that is needed for this framework to work. So I believe Maven and Karate, JUnit, these are the minimal dependencies that can let us work with this. Now, for me to run this, I can do a Maven test. This is my command. In Karate, I can do API tests or UI tests. So we're using a hashtag for our tagging. And when you look at your code as well of features, you will see it accordingly, where you've tagged your tests or features. We're out here. Yeah, both are tests at the moment. So that's your karate team. If I'm interested, and I'll share this vibe coding with some of you, we should continue to build some more that actually works. One thing I could do is before I run, it has built something raw, right? Why doesn't it use kayak.com itself to actually do something that's possible? So those are the things where I like to spend more time and understand. But let's look at Playwright. I'll start with README. So this npm install and then test headed, test UI. So my base URL is the thing that I need to put team. It is not set here, but what if I give kayak.com here and run it? Maybe yes. I have not kept all the files. That's why it's all showing green. Once I keep all, then everything would be accepted. It's a new creation that came out. So for me, in vibe coding, it becomes very easy to do certain things. So let's say I want to do just a play around with some Pi samples. And I have, let's say, I don't have anything. So instead of writing a prompt team, one of the first things I do is I put it into a text file note or requirement, and then let it become the prompt. So I'm saying build a PyCode that what can a Python do? Very simple for a test engineer that can analyze for on the Fox's side. I'll show you later, T, because analysis of core, results and all that is very interesting. What can anyone wants to suggest anything that can build test data? Sample test data. For the cruise project. Now, how can a Python code do it? You are not sure, team. But there are a lot of ways using Python internal libraries and a few algorithms that you can customize that takes and builds it. I want it to just build Python code, but it's also doing something in Karate. I'll let it finish what it does. But for me, I want to keep such utilities, or I want to write a Python code that compares two CSV files or two payloads and says the difference between them. Things like that, and so on. Very low level, all the way to write and customize more of my automation tests, build the whole library, clean up my scripts, make sure my repositories are well organized. Those kind of concepts, team. Now, did I ask the Colab to build anything? I don't think so. I'll put it here. And there's this whole concept of accept and auto run. Let's see what it does. There's no code out here, so what will it even do? What happened? Did it take it? Can we play tic-tac-toe with it? I think, Venkat, you were trying a few things, right? Now that's my prompt. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, we should try that even in Java. So I want the team to, why is it not doing what I want it to do? It took the prompt. Did it run away from, run out of tokens? I hardly use it. It's a Python notebook that we're generating, team. Generate Python code for tic-tac-toe. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted it to do. And it should give me not just the code, but also a place for me to execute them. It is not something that is as powerful as a full-fledged IDE, but on the cloud, you're able to do plenty of things, team. So there's a set of functions that it created. I don't know how many lines. I should ask it to show line numbers. But then here is the output. Now, all I have to do is how to play. Run the code cell above, when prompted, enter. So to run it, you can use AI or you can click on actual execution button. But let's explore this feature of accept and run. So I'm letting it run the code. The output of the code should be something that it should give us to interact. There we go. So here is the board. There's nothing here. Player extern, enter row 0, 1 or 2. So this is 0, 1 or 2. So I'll say row 1 and enter. Now it is asking me for the column, and I'll also say 1 and enter. There we go. That's beautiful, right? X has come. Now my game is ready, but the code behind this was vibe coded. I used simple AI tool to generate that code and also execute it for me. Now the computer has taken up here. So let me say that I'll do out here. So that's 2, row is 2 and column is 0. So 2 and 0. There should also be a timer for the game. That way it's easy to see. Now it's AIO's turn. Okay, so I'm here. And it's not even looked at the possibility that it might lose if it doesn't put it here, team C. And that is where if I play tic-tac-toe with AI, it'll definitely be much smarter. If I increase the difficulty level, it should be able to. But chess computers and chess games, computer games were there for so many years, much before automations or AI into picture. So that's still possible. Where do I want to put it? Row 0, column 2. So 0 and 2. 0, 2. There we go. What happened? Who won? Player X wins. So, but that's a decent code. What I can do, team, is I'm working sometimes with multiple of these, right? So I can copy this code, take it to my IDE, and ask it to continue to improve it for me. So I already have what Py samples, right? So I'll say new file, and this I'll say tic-tac-toe.py and put my Py code here. And it should be the same game that you should be able to play here. So I can execute this. Let's see if in the terminal. There we go. It looks to be a little faster. So what was my move? Let's see if it does the same. So first was 1 and 1. Next was 2 and 0. Oh, that's beautiful. Look, it's a different each time. And the reason it is different is I don't know if it's used random or looking at where to put. So what if I do 0 and 0? That's where I can block this user from winning over us. So let me do a 0 and a 0. And I see he or she going down now. That's a tough fight. So if I put it out here, the X, I would win. But let me lose and see and test what the computer says. So I'm going to put it up here, team. So this is going to be row 2 and column 1. So 2 and 1. Ah, he had all the chance in the world to put it here. He or she. I think I don't know if it's random, but that is where I do not have to look at the code too much. All I have to do is add it to my cursor chat, or my AI say, improve the code to also time how long each user takes. So there's a version 1, it worked, I'm improving it to version 2, version 3. So if I want simple code of, it doing, I didn't see the output for test data, but see JSON and CSV, input date time, so read them, destinations. All of this given as lists, so you can easily take it and include in your, JSON files, payloads, anywhere. Cruise lines, cabin tags, beautiful. Build search params. See, nothing is AI in this team. Remember, it's all code. So there's a lot that we can achieve sometimes with coding, not necessarily each time that we have to do AI and then hope that it gives us the accurate. With coding, you will always get accurate results. There's no question. All right, let's look at tic-tac-toe, what it did. It did improve. See, there's some changes it did in multiple places. So I think it's still doing it once it finishes and so on. Now I can put it into a cycle. These are prompts which are taking a couple of minutes to give outputs and so on. I can give it an entire document and say, hey, you know what? Go through this entire document and build everything for me. That's where we can build web applications. I wouldn't call it as vibe coding, but base 44 and a few things are doing that. So, for example, here are my ROMs that I can give to AI. Look at the length of this document first. It's a couple of 100 lines. The reason it is important is it gives the entire structure. It says what to do, what not to do, how everything should be treated. This is specifically for a test engineer. So in this case, I'm asking you to generate foxes, but you can replace it with any technology tool that you use. That's important. All right, that's a lot of speech from my side. Any questions, anyone, please? Anyone wants to share the screen? I'll let Venkat share a screen in the meanwhile. But if you have updated anything at your end and would like to show it to me, let me know, please. All right, Venkat, why don't you become the presenter and let's start looking at some outputs from you.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe about 10 minutes and then we should be good.
Yeah. Can you make me the presenter, Karthik? I think it's still with you.
Yeah, now we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, guys. This is my desktop, and I'm going to open my VS Code, and we are going to build some standalone applications with Java. So I've created one program just now while Karthik sir was saying his thing. So I normally created a grocery store, which is a standalone application. What is a standalone application basically? A standalone application basically is it runs on a particular computer. Like it works only on my laptop currently. So that is meant by standalone application. So I have made a grocery store. So let's try to run this first. New terminal. Let's see. Run the application. Not Java. Let's see if my program has any errors or not. If you try to press enter, it should directly redirect to next line without showing any errors. So then we can say that our program doesn't have any errors. So let's see Java, and then we need to write this one. Java standalone. What is your class name? You need to provide it over here. Yeah. So welcome to the grocery shop. So we have given it in here. So what our the grocery shop has? We have view products, bill products, show bill, and exit. First, when you enter the grocery shops, you'll go and see the products. Come on, let's see what is there in this products. So currently we are having 5 products. One is rice, sugar, milk, oil, and bread. And 20 stocks, 15, 10, 8, 12 are remaining. And each of the prices, rice price is 50 rupees, sugar price is 40, milk price is 30, oil price is 120, and bread price is 20. So let's try to buy some products. I'm trying to press 2 to buy products. So I wanted to buy some sugar, milk, and bread. 2, 3, and 5. Enter. Invalid choice. So I've tried to use everything at the same 2, 3, and 5 because it's a standalone application which is built with only few things. Like it can handle only few things. So we need to give it one by one. So we need to do it again. 1. Next, buy products. Next, enter the product ID. Let's take 2. So how many quantities do I need? I need like some 4 quantities. So what is my bill? It's 160. So our bill is added. 160 is our bill. Like next we need to do 3 bill. Total amount is 280. Proceed to checkout. Yes. So payment successful. Thank you for shopping. This is a standalone application for a grocery shop. So what do we what do we use, like arrays or strings or loops or control statements, everything. First of all, we need to create our class. I've created my class name as standalone application. Then we have written our main method. Then we have used a scanner class. So basically we can type our wanted things while our execution. That's why we use scanner class. Next, we are trying to take a string because string accepts only a sequence of characters like name, place, things like this. So that's why we have taken a string, and double prices, like it may be like 50.40, like any pennies like type. And in stock could be in numbers, like we cannot say we have only 20.5. We should keep it as a whole figure, like 20, 19, like this. Next, double total bill. Initially your bill would be zero, total bill. Next, we need to print welcome to a grocery shop, boolean shopping, true, like true or false shopping, is he shopping or not. Next, we are trying to run a while loop for showing our menu. First, slash n is used for printing the next line, printing to the next line. So first one is view product, second one is buy product, third one is show bill, and fourth one is exit, and it should show choose any option between 1 to 4. So in choice, sc is equals to next int. We have used our scanner class over here, sc our object name, and trying to access over here. Next int basically indicates it only accepts numbers. Okay. Next int keyword is used for it only accept int as its choice. Next, I'm taking a switch case. Like, what could a person select? Like, in my mind, it would automatically click. Like, the person can take multiple. So I need to run switch case like this. So first one is choice. We are taking the input as choice. Next, case one, we are trying to throw the available projects and number of items, price, and its stock. How many number of items are present, its price, and its stock. And running a for loop. Int I equals to 0, I less than product dot length, because it should show me what are in the products only. It cannot exceed the product length. So I'm keeping a for loop, like you need to run from here to here. So you need to show me the products like 1 to 4. So this applicables for everything, 4 cases: for view all products, buy all product, validate product, check if it is in stock, and show bill and exit. So this works in this case, and directly we need to close. Then we can get our uh, output, like what do you win it. So
Very
guys,
nice.
can you turn on your mics and let's you guys say like what can we play around, like any tic tac toe which
So
Karthik sir has said, some any other things.
yes, and I look at vibe coding as a way to keep enhancing whatever we built so far. And there are two immediate enhancements. Number one, I liked what output it gave. Very simple, very neat, it ran. One is a technical improvement, another is a functional improvement. So technical improvement, can we put another prompt and say, add try-cat blocks for user inputs? So what if the user is entering a non-number, non-integer as one of the 4 possible? Can you add that into the chat?
Can you repeat it once, Karthik? Like,
Sure. Is my audio okay?
yeah, okay, Karthik. Like my
All right.
leg got
If you
in the
start
wire and
typing, I will let you know.
yeah,
In the
sure,
same
Karthik.
chat, yeah. What we will do is add try catch to handle user input. That's enough, I think. And the reason is user is only entering input in numbers and it should be aware. The second thing I would want to do while it's working on it is you can start writing a prompt is that can you build more options for the buyer? Options in the whole shopping process, not for the buyer, in the whole shopping process. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That try catch block. And I think it did little ineffective. It is checking it everywhere. It should have it as a one common function, but that's fine. Let it do. You send the prompt, is it? Did it interrupt what it did?
Yeah, it interrupt try and catch method, and it's trying to interrupt some more
Oh, so
grocery.
it finished try and catch. We accepted try and catch. Okay.
Yes, it's accepted over here.
Nice.
Key. Basically, in this program, we don't use like try and catch also, because I have given already like in the case 4 only I've given, if the number exceeds from 1 to 4, throw invalid number. So basically we can do in either way.
Sure, but what if I enter text or some other keyboard?
Yeah, anything like if you don't enter anything in between 1 to 4,
then it will automatically
throw it's an invalid number, like invalid text. So
got it.
let's see how
Line
the
7.
try and catch method interrupted my program. So try and catch occurs when you try to use anything which is not present over in your program. So
correct. So if you scroll up,
yeah,
scroll up, please. Why are you going to the bottom? Here, I'm looking at where is the user input coming in?
from here. This is a
okay, system scan, correct. I only needed a try catch block out here, nowhere else actually. But then that is the first one. But we will continue to scan, right? In while loop also it should be there.
In while loop it doesn't be there because
scanner is SC. So wherever SC is being used, is trying to put a catch, try catch. Yeah, it's added more code, like you said, Venkat. It is not necessary.
Yeah.
What can you give as a prompt now to fix this?
I would give
or fix.
Make this
efficient, low code. I mean,
unwanted code which is used twice and which is not for this application. We even remove the unwanted code which is used twice and which is not needed for this application. Let's see, will it remove?
Perfect, nice. So we asked it to add something both functional and technical, and then we asked it to optimize it.
It's given, Karthik, over here. I'll replace repeated try-catch blocks with a single reusable.
Exactly, perfect. That is at least easier, not that it is required, but as the application size grows, having it there is good. And what I do is only after testing, I allow the try catch block. Before testing, I don't put it because sometimes errors won't get caught. Unit testing, testing our own code.
So basically, we have run a switch case, like which accepts only one case statement at a time. So
Correct.
If
And it
you
will keep
don't
looping
run
till we
any,
exit.
yeah. If anything, we keep above 4, like I have used here 4 cases, and we need to write a default statement for a switch case statement. If you
It's very
give
neat
any
here.
invalid choice, it will automatically give you invalid choice.
Very neat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So,
Venkat.
yeah, thank you, Karthik. Is there anything we can play around? Like any more?
I think good. What does it want me to run the program now? I think we've seen it.
Yeah.
And then
Now the new items has been added. Let's see.
you want to run it. Okay. And team, if there are any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, I think we'll be good for the session. And I'll see you all on Saturday morning, 36 hours. So. Why do you have to? Oh, you have, because you change the code, let's say recompiling first.
Yeah.
And we have not added any UI interface or something.
No. This is just a standalone application which we can doesn't include front end. So let's view our project now. Products. Sorry. So it's 12
While you do
products.
that, Vasundhara, you had a question?
Yeah, yes, Karthik. So this is the first session I'm attending. So I need to install Visual Studio and then plug in the cursor to do this.
Both
or
are different. Either you do cursor or Visual Studio.
Okay.
So I would recommend if you're starting, goes directly with cursor.
Okay.
cursor.com.
Okay.
You create a free account there, sign up there on their web application, and
Okay.
then download it onto your machine. In the future sessions, I'll show you more on cursor.
Okay. So to catch up for Saturday, what should I attend? Like on the IT Learn website, do I have any information or slides to go over and get ready for the Saturday
Before
session?
that, yes, one would be the Fox's certification, because that is where things would be more important. Like for example, on Saturday, we will continue on, taking the GitHub and so on. You can also, okay, let me give you a couple of links. One would be itlearn.com. Next is the GitHub for Foxes demo. I'm putting it in the chat also.
Thank you.
This is what you can download as a zip from GitHub and open within cursor.
Okay, let me.
Akhilesh, you're there, right? On the session. Also out here, we didn't upload the Jan and other videos, but you can watch some of these earlier sessions also, Vasundhara. Fox's certification ones.
Okay, so one is like itlearn.com. I can watch these sessions, right?
Watch, yeah, a couple of them, more than enough.
Okay.
And then you can try there. And once you have cursor.com, this is my signed in dashboard. Continue with Google. Let me see if I have it. Or I don't know if it's my official account. I think it's info@foxsys.com is mine, but let's see even. So this is a free plan. You will have to see the same thing.
Okay.
And once you sign in or sign up on cursor, and once you're there, you'll have the download for Windows or
it will work
Mac.
on Mac too, right?
Yes. So if you're opening cursor.com through Mac, it will show you for Mac.
Okay.
And then once you download it, you should be able to do the simple installation setups. It should not be very complicated.
Okay.
And you have the main IDE open.
Okay. There is no need to install separate IDE. This should be enough.
Cursor is your IDE, correct?
Okay. Okay.
VS Code also is similar, but Cursor is the latest kid in the block. So you might enjoy it more.
Okay. So IT Learn and GitHub, that path you have shared in the chat. Okay.
Sure. Is GitHub Copilot also something similar to Cursor? Actually, GitHub Copilot, you can use it along with any IDE as an additional plugin. There was a question from the chat. So yeah, Reena, you can, and GitHub Copilot is something I should also show. Maybe on Saturday's session, I'll show that too. And it's not just something that works for GitHub repositories. It is also for like vibe coding and so on. With VS Code, I think it's very easy. Or Cursor, or sorry, PyCharm and so on. Any other questions, team? Venkat, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Karthik.
All right. And I'll send an email out with a few instructions to all the registrants so that a few links that will help you as well, team.
Thank you.
Take care all. You're welcome. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye for now. Have a good one.